Okay. I'm going to. I'm gonna post uh the live link different places. Um. Okay. So forgive me for my awful sounding voice. Um. Forgive me for my awful sounding voice. I am currently a little bit under the weather. Um. I don't know if anyone's gonna join this, but we're just gonna take it as it is, okay? So someone's saying they're eating my art. Hi, someone joined. I see one person joined. Hello. Okay, so and they left. Okay, so fuck. Okay. So what we're doing is I have the Book of Bill. Okay? I have the Book of Bill. And so I'm also incredibly distracted by my phone. So trying to find. Okay, so here we go. I'm taking the sleeve off. You can see this. I will not get through the whole book today because I have work tomorrow, so fun times with Faith. So I like it without the sleeve, obviously, but I wish it had the text at the bottom on the cover as well. By the by, I've had this for a little while now, but I have not fully read it. If you can believe that. Okay, so standard interior. Alright, so here we go. At first, I thought it was a joke. Just a silly song he sang to taunt me while I was shackled in his penthouse at the end of the world. After seeing his mind shattered, his body petrified, and his chaos reversed, I knew he must be gone from reality. And yet some mornings I wake up with the tune stuck in my head, and I curse when I realize what I'm whistling. We'll meet again. Oh my god, saucy. The question continues to nag at me like a thistle in my sock. Is Bill Cipher really dead? In the weeks since Weird Mageddon, I conducted numerous tests on Stanley's mind. His terrible jokes are still intact, and inspected the statue for dimensional leakage. We also took turns kicking the statue, and Stanley took a few cracks with a crowbar. I burned every cipher-shaped item I had ever collected, and even threw away all my $1 bills just to be safe. Stanley, of course, found and pocketed them. But the memory gun's effects have proven to be far from permanent. If memories could return, I shudder to think what else could return as well. I was recently packing for a long overdue family trip when I found something nestled in my knapsack. A black book with a triangle on the cover. Dismissing it as a tasteless prank, some local teens think Bill worship is edgy. I threw the book in the trash, shot the trash with a shotgun, and hurled it all the way into a ravine. But the book reappeared under my pillow the next morning, unscathed. And again the next. I have since tried burning, stabbing, tearing, freezing, and molecularly destabilizing this book, as well as feeding it to Mabel's pet pig, but it somehow always returns, haunting me. I have told none about it, not wanting to alarm them, because I know what this is. I've heard the myths, but didn't want to believe they were true. This really is the Book of Bill. Title drop. Created by forces unknown, printed on stitched together human brain matter, sealed with black wax, moonstones, and invisible symbols. His book has one purpose: to conjure Cypher's voice into its pages. to communicate with the triangle even after his death. This is not an ordinary book. It appears differently to everyone, sometimes seeming completely empty, other times full of incomprehensible gibberish. It changes and rewrites itself based on the mind of any reader with the misfortune of holding it. It will become whatever it must to deceive you, to pull you in. It's not safe on a bookshelf because, as I have witnessed, it has it it infects other books. Why has it appeared now? I only have my suspicions, but my days of doing his bidding are behind me. There are still small rifts to the nightmare realm that my family and I have been sealing as I repair the damage from Weirdmageddon. I am tossing this book into one of those rifts and not looking back. If this book has somehow found its way to you, then you are the next target it has chosen. I offer a warning. Destroy it. I tried to destroy it, heaven knows I tried, but every attempt proved futile. Whatever you do, do not turn its pages, do not write your name, do not believe a word. Turn back while you still can, or live forever with the regret. Stanford Pines. This book's new master is my name here. I wrote my name in it. He told me not to, but I still did. To summon, place your right hand on the right place your hand on the right page. Clear your mind. It doesn't say which hand though. It's obviously the right hand, but like I could do both hands. Place your hand on the right page. Clear your mind. Repeat the words. Time to get weird. I already did that before. I skipped Stanford's whole spiel at the beginning when I first got this book, and I just went straight to putting my name in it and just putting my hand on there. And then there's just how many pages of this? 2 pages. And oh my god, it's Bill Cipher. Wow. Anyway, well, here we are at last. I've been waiting an eternity to meet you. And I know you've been nearly. Wait, I have a really hard time with reading. And I know you've been waiting nearly as long to meet me. Breathe it in a second, pal. This moment of anticipation. You always suspected this day would come, and it finally has. Your life will forever be divided into 2 halves, before you met me and after. Welcome to the after. You're probably wondering, Bill, you're an all-powerful being. Why write a book, huh? Why let me read it? Also, aren't you dead? Are you dead or what? What's the deal? I have no idea what you mean. I'm perfectly fine. That totally looks perfectly fine to me. In fact, I'm better than fine because now I have you, and there's a lot we can do together. Oh, you might feel silly about meeting me. After all, Bill Cipher is imaginary. You're real, and I'm not, right? But are you so sure about that? After all, you're mortal. One day you'll be dust. But I'm an idea, and an idea can't be killed. So that's me 1 and you 0 on the immortality front. And if I'm the eternal one and you're the temporary one, then it might be wise for you to get on the winning side early, you dig? I know that drama queen Sixer warned you not to read this book, didn't he? Maybe the old nerd is right. Weak minds have gone crazy from just one glimpse at my tantalizing forbidden secrets. See, the hickory smoked crater where McGucket's brain used to be. But if you're as sharp as I think you are, and if you're curious about the meaning of life, how to cheat death, Pine Tree's most embarrassing dreams, and your own interesting future, then I'll consider making a deal with you. How about a trade? I'll let you read my book in exchange for a favor down the line. We can work out the details later. What do you say? Take Bill's deal? Yes. Turn the page? No. Turn to page 77. What's page 77? This book doesn't have this book doesn't have page numbers. I'm not turning to page 77. The suspense is killing me. Oh my god, it's killing him even though he's already dead. Right choice bone. Why did I say choiced? Right choice, bone sack. Welcome to the book of. No, that won't do. You call that a cover? What is this, amateur hour? I can do better than that. And then it's, why do I always forget? It's the copyright page, okay? So it says, Cipher Press, written by Bill Cipher, copyright 2024, Bill Cipher Press, all wrongs reserved. Editor, Bill Cipher. Designer, Bill Cipher. Illustrator, Bill Cipher. Published by Bill Cipher Press, an imprint of Bill Cipher Books. No part or form of this book may be reproduced or transmitted in any form or by any means, electronic or mechanical, including photocopying, or by any information storage and retrieval system, unless you really want to something. Who cares, right? It's just a book. Have fun with it. Knock yourself out. Nothing matters. We're all gonna die anyway. Go on, copy this book. For further information, address Bill Cipher Books, something something, Billville, California, 9120 Bill. Printed in Bill's brain. First edition. It's a first edition. Sustainable forestry initiative certified kindling. For more Bill Cipher Press Fund, visit thisisnotawebsite.com. If you purchase this book without a cover, you should be aware that this book is stolen property. Good. Stealing is fine. Laws are made up. For more great ideas, combine all the expired fluids in your fridge into a giant jug. Down the hatch. Our lawyers do not endorse the prior sentence. Please close your eyes while reading it. And then the opening page, the Book of Bill, written by Bill, published by Bill, licked by Bill, placed by Bill. Wow. Bill licked this book. Let's see. And then it goes through all the covers, and these were on This Is Not a Website. Too basic, too nostalgic, too preachy, too ravishing. I love Bill Cipher. The Book of Bill. Good job, Bill. There we go. Perfect. The crowd loves it. Yes, I do. Free, transform, scale, rotate, skew, torture physically, torture mentally, remove intestines, stab vertically, stab horizontally, chop into pieces, put in garbage bag, wash hands. Put garbage bag in river. The river is quiet, the river secrets, no one will know. Rotate 180 degrees, rotate 18,000 degrees, rotate until time reverses. Do backflip. Whee! With that out of the way, all this book needs is some ink. Hey, can I borrow some of your blood? Just press your thumb here. I'll absorb it right into the page. You won't even notice it's gone. There you go. Ah, that feels good. Bro, he's a freak. Your new book. Lick here for that new book taste. Do I lick it? I will. I licked it. I did not like that. It tasted gross. Congrats on your new book, The Book of Bill, which will be your new guide to life forever. If you're starting to have second thoughts about reading it, too bad. There's no way to get rid of this book. Go ahead, try to throw it away. I dare you. It will follow you to the grave. This book contains 1. A real human spine. I wonder who they stole it from. 2. Paper made from pressed, pureed human brain matter. I can invade anything with neurons, so I can project anything I want in here. 3. 1,000 free paper cuts to be awarded to 1,000 lucky readers at random. Check your fingers. You may already be a winner. 4. A whole secret chapter that you probably won't find. 5. A soul. If you burn this book, it will scream. 6. Bees! Check this box to continue. I'm not Dipper Pines. Table of contents brought to you by your own blood. About me, an interview, my powers, a test of worthiness, Bill's guide to everything, the secrets of the universe, humans, love, deja vu, death, morality, parallel dimensions, urban legends, deja vu, silly straws, codes, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, dreams, the meaning of life, deja vu, my story, origins, glory days, a baby problem, hello Earth, welcome to Gravity Falls, ancient history, modern history, Sixer, my new puppet, the lost journal pages, the big plan, how to take over the world. Get comfortable. Eat some teeth. About me. Think of me as your one friend who can never die. A bad idea and a good time. The guy pulling the strings behind the unknowable veil of perception. And I have a cute little bow tie. I've gone by many names. Network censors call me a lawsuit waiting to happen. Therapists call me a sign the medication isn't working. Serial killers call me honestly surprisingly down to earth. Wherever there's a hand to shake and a deal to make, buddy, I'm there. His card is it a millipede? A centipede? Bill Cipher, Dream Demon, screamed to contact. Look, I get it. You're probably craving the rare, never before heard details about my life, huh? Well, I haven't done an interview in a billion years or so, but just for you, I'll go to the only unbiased news source in the multiverse. Me! So you want to know about me? Well, folks, I'm just a rascal, a mischievous fella, a funny little guy. Oh, but no matter how loudly I try to scream my intentions, everyone seems to think I'm evil or a sociopath or ruining this funeral by playing a slide whistle every time someone says the name of the deceased. But I'm not a bad guy. I just operate on my own frequency, cosmically and morally. I've tried wearing this shirt to explain. I'm a little different. Get used to it. I'm getting that tattooed on my body. Bill. Bill is a noun. The most important triangle in history. Your new best friend, life coach, death coach, overlord, style consultant, mentor, mental case mastermind, and mind master. The writer, director, star, and EP behind all your favorite nightmares. And then there's a code, and I think it's an at bash, but I don't feel like deciphering it because I'm lazy. Triangulum and tangulum. Oh, he's in someone's brain. He's in my brain right now. That's what happened when I bug. I lost weight by removing my skin. The Bill magazine. Burning calories and galaxies. 7 new sins. Live, laugh, let me into your dimension. A baby in a briefcase. You can eat both. Feeling obtuse? Get it cute for the summer. Bill tells all. Bill on the Bill Cipher show. He's been in your mind, but what's on his? Today's guest has done it all. Mentally scarred 12-year-old, stolen a Grammy, possessed the Pope, even written his own celebrity cookbook. Out, existential dread. In, existential bread. I sat down to discuss fame, fashion, and pyramids with the guy who's also me and also my entire audience. Bill. Make an unholy sound for Bill. Cipher! Crowd of Bill Ciphers cheers. Bill, thank you, thank you. It's great to see you. Bill, it's great to be you. Bill, the pleasure's all mine. Wait, the pleasure's all ours. Bill, so I wouldn't be much of an interviewer if I didn't start with the one question everyone is talking about. Let's get into it. Are you dead? Yes, no. Bill, it doesn't get any much clearer than that. Let's move on to gossip. Any regrets about causing the apocalypse? Look, I already addressed that in my apology video, okay? Move on. I cannot believe that they referenced Toxic Gossip Train in this book. That's so funny. Is it true you once dated a howling void? Wow. How many times am I gonna have to hear this one? Just because I got coffee with a howling void one time does not mean we were in a relationship. And whatever happened to privacy, huh? Next question. I heard you don't know how to wear pants. Is that true? Yeah, right. This picture begs to differ. Hot. How do you respond to claims that you're just a teenager? That's ridiculous. I'm 1,012,000,000,000 years old. I'm a preteen. Anything you'd like to plug? Sure, your eyes and mouth with cement. Is it true you're the biological father of Phineas from Phineas and Ferb? This interview is over. Hilarious. He sees all. Wow. Oh my god, the cipher statue. That's the video. That's literally just a snapshot of the video Alex took on his phone of the Bill Cipher statue in the woods. That's no longer in that location. It's time to tell you about my unholy powers. Like a potato that grew too close to Chernobyl, I've got eyes everywhere. Any symbol of me that you draw, scratch, spray paint, or burn into the human world creates a direct peephole from my reality to yours. Maybe I shouldn't get that tattoo. The more I see, the more my power grows. The more my power grows, the more fun we can have when you and I finally meet. Wanna help? Put me somewhere no one would ever expect. Just keep me out of the shower, you freak. Bro, I got Bill Cipher drawings all over my wall. I don't know if you can see down there. Right here, that's a Bill drawing. That's another Bill drawing. Oh my god, he can see me. Anyway. My powers. Honestly, it might be faster to list the things I can't do. I've eaten gods, seduced galaxies, and drunk fear. It tastes like the entire Cheesecake Factory menu put into a blender. Here are a few of my favorite powers, off the top of my head. Mind reading. You think you're reading this book? This book is reading you. Possession. If it has neurons, I can make it my puppet. Want to see my next puppet? Look in the mirror, kid. Ciphervoyance. There's no way to see the future because it's constantly changing every time two particles bonk into each other. But I can see a kaleidoscopic quantum phantasmagoria of infinite possible futures across a spectrum of probability. So I can tell you which of your future realities is most likely for a price. Don't worry, you only died choking on a shirt button in 13,000 of them. 13,000? No. Charisma. Charisma is a tune that everyone can't help but hum. You've either got it or you don't. But if you don't fret. You can still hum along. Pyrokinesis. Cypher, he's insane, starting fires with his brain. The kids in grade school could be so cruel. But where are they now, huh? Where are they now? Looking amazing in formal wear. Other cosmic beings wish they could pull off my look. Have you ever seen Cthulhu try to wear a bow tie? Guy looks like a joke. Geometric perfection. My three internal angles always add up to 180 degrees. Quit staring at my hypotenuse, you freak. My weaknesses. Look, nobody's perfect except for Perfectious Prime and the Perfection Nebula, but everyone hates that fucking guy. I may have a few teensy weensy flaws. It does not say fucking in there. I just added it because there's a crossed out swear. I may have a few teensy weensy flaws, but keep these under your hat, Jack. Synthesized music. If I had ears, I would rip them off when I hear this. Tinfoil, yes, wearing aluminum on your head will keep me out of your thoughts. Sixer went a little overboard, putting aluminum inside his head. That fella lives for drama. McGucket's memory gun. If you see one of these things, destroy it, and I'll give you diamonds. My diamonds. Sorry. No physical form. Thing is supposed to trap blah blah guys who come out. So it doesn't matter. Quantum. Hold up, you really thought I was gonna give you step-by-step instructions to taking me down? Here we were getting along and you try to stab me in the back? You know what? Because you tried to peek at this, I'm canceling the book. That's right, you drove me to this. From this point on, you're reading The Great Gatsby instead. Book of Bill over. Get Gatsby, sucker. I wish it was just the entirety of The Great Gatsby. The Great Gatsby, Chapter 2. About halfway between West Egg and New York, the motor road hastily joins the railroad and runs beside it for a quarter of a mile so as to shrink away from a certain desolate area of land. This is a valley of ashes, a fantastic farm where ashes grow like wheat into ridges and hills, and grotesque gardens where ashes take the forms of houses and chimneys and rising smoke, and finally, with the transcendent effort of ash gray men who move dimly and already crumbling through the powdery air. Occasionally, a line of gray cars scrawls along an invisible track, gives out a ghastly creak, and comes to rest. And immediately, the ash gray men swarm up with leaden spades, and stir up an impenetrable cloud which screens their obscure operations from your sight. But above the gray land and the spasms of bleak dust which drift endlessly over it, you perceive, after a moment, the eyes of Dr. T.J. Eckelberg. The eyes of Dr. T.J. Eckelberg are blue and gigantic. Their retinas are 1 yard high. They look out of no face, but instead from a pair of enormous yellow spectacles which pass over a non existent nose. Evidently, some wild wag of an occultist set them there to fatten his practice in the borough of Queens, and then sank down himself into eternal blindness, or forgot them and moved away, but his eyes dimmed a little by many paintless days under the sun and rain, and broad on over the solemn dumping ground. The valley of ashes is bounded on one side by a small foul river, and when the drawbridge is up to let barges through, the passengers on waiting trains can stare at the dismal scene for as long as half an hour. There's always a halt there, as of at least a minute, and it was because of this that I first met Tom Buchanan's mistress. The fact that he had one was insisted upon whenever he was known. His acquaintances resented the fact that he turned in popular cafes with her, and leaving her at a table sauntered about, chatting with whomever he knew. Though I was curious to see her, I had no desire to meet her, but I did. I went up to New York with Tom on the train one afternoon, and when we stopped by the ash heaps, he jumped to his feet and, taking hold of my elbow, literally forced me from the car. "We're getting off," he insisted. "I want you to meet my girl." I think he tanked up a good deal at luncheon, and his determination to have my company bordered on violence. The supercilious attempt was that on Sunday afternoon I had nothing better to do. I followed him over a low, whitewashed railroad fence, and we walked back 100 yards along the road under Dr. Eckelberg's persistent stare. The only building in sight was a small block of yellow brick sitting on the edge of the wasteland, a sort of a sort of compact Main Street ministering to it, and contiguous to absolutely nothing. One of the three shops it contained was for rent, and another was an all-night restaurant approached by a trail of ashes. The third was a garage. Repairs, George B. Wilson. Cars bought and sold. I followed Tom inside. The interior was unprosperous and bare. The only car visible was the dust-covered wreck of a Ford which crouched in a dim corner. It had occurred to me that the shadow of a garage must be a blind and that sumptuous and romantic apartments were concealed overhead, when the proprietor himself appeared in the door of an office, wiping his hands on a piece of waste. He was a blond, spiritless man, anemic and faintly handsome. When he saw us, a damp gleam of hope sprung into his light blue eyes. "Hello, Wilson, old man," said Tom, slapping him jovially on the shoulder. "How's business?" "I can't complain," answered Wilson unconvincingly. "When are you going to sell me that car?" "Next week. I've got my man working on it now." "Works pretty slow, don't he?" "No, he doesn't," said Tom coldly. "And if you feel that way about it, then maybe I'd better sell it somewhere else after all." "I don't mean that," explained Wilson quickly. "I just meant—" His voice faded off, and Tom glanced impatiently around the garage. Then I heard footsteps on the stairs, and in a moment the thickish figure of a woman blocked out the light from the office door. She was in the middle 30s, and faintly stout, but she carried her flesh sensuously, and women can. Her face, above a spotted dress of dark blue crepe de chine, contained no facet or gleam of beauty, but there was an immediately perceptible vitality about her, as if the nerves of her body were continually smoldering. She smiled slowly, and walking through her husband as if he were a ghost, she shook hands with Tom, looking him flush in the eye. Then she wet her lips, and without turning round, spoke to her husband in a soft, coarse voice. "Get some chairs, why don't you, so somebody can sit down?" "Oh, sure," agreed Wilson hurriedly, and went toward the little office, mingling immediately with the cement color of the walls. A white ashen dust veiled his dark suit, and his pale hair as veiled everything in the vicinity, except his wife, who moved close to Tom. "I want to see you," said Tom intently. "Get on the next train." "All right, I'll meet you by the newsstand on the lower level." She nodded and moved away from him just as George Wilson emerged with two chairs from his office door. He waited for her down the road and out of sight. It was a few days before the 4th of July, and a gray, scrawny Italian child was setting torpedoes in a row along the railroad track. "Terrible place, isn't it?" said Tom, exchanging a frown with Dr. Eckelberg. "Awful. It does her good to get away." "Doesn't her husband object, Wilson? He thinks she goes to see her sister in New York. He's so dumb he doesn't even know she's alive. Wait, he doesn't know he's alive." So Tom Buchanan and his girl and I went up together to New York, or not quite together, for Mrs. Wilson sat discreetly in another car. Tom deferred that much to the sensibilities of those East Eggers who might be on the train. She had changed her dress to a brown figured muslin, which stretched tight over her rather wide hips as Tom helped her to the platform in New York. At the newsstand, she bought a copy of Town Tattle and a moving picture magazine, and in the station drugstore some cold cream and a small flask of perfume. Upstairs in the solemn echoing drive, she let four taxicabs drive away before she selected a new one, lavender colored with gray upholstery, and in this we slid out from the mass of the station into the glowing sunshine. But immediately she turned sharply from the window and, leaning forward, tapped on the front glass. "I want to get one of those dogs," she said earnestly. "I want to get one for the apartment. They're nice to have a dog." We backed up to a gray old man who bore an absurd resemblance to John Day Rockefeller. In a basket swung from his neck cowered a dozen very recent puppies of an indeterminate breed. "What kind are they?" asked Mrs. Wilson eagerly, as he came to the taxi window. "All kinds. What kind do you want, lady?" "I'd like to get one of those police dogs. I don't suppose you got that kind." The man peered doubtfully into the basket, plunged in his hand, and drew one up, wiggling by the back of the neck. "That's no police dog," said Tom. "No, it's not exactly a police dog," the man said with disappointment in his voice. "It's more of an Airedale." He passed his hand over the brown wash rag of a back. "Look at that coat. Some coat. That's a dog that'll never bother you with catching cold." "I think it's cute," said Mrs. Wilson enthusiastically. "How much is it?" "That dog," he looked at it admiringly, "that dog will cost you $10. The Airedale, undoubtedly there was an Airedale concern in it somewhere, though its feet were startlingly white, changed hands and settled down into Mrs. Wilson's lap, where she fondled the weatherproof coat with rapture. "Is it a boy or a girl?" she asked delicately. That dog's a boy." "It's a boy," said Tom decisively. "Here's your money. Go and buy 10 more dogs with it." We drove over to Fifth Avenue, warm and soft, almost pastoral. On the summer Sunday afternoon, I wouldn't have been surprised to see a great flock of white sheep turn the corner. "Hold on," I said. "I have to leave you here." "No, you don't," interposed Tom quickly. "Myrtle will be hurt if you don't come up to the apartment. Won't you, Myrtle?" "Come on," she urged. "I'll telephone my sister Catherine. She's said to be very beautiful by people who ought to know." "Well, I'd like to, but—" we went on, cutting back again over to the park toward the West 100 At 158th Street, the cab stopped at one slice in a long white cake of apartment houses. During a regal homecoming glance neighborhood, Mrs. Wilson gathered up her dog and her other pure bases, pure bases and went haughtily in. I'm going to have the McKees come up, she announced as we rose in the elevator. And it got cut off. Okay, enough. Yes, we get it. The billboard is a metaphor. The American dream is bittersweet. Yak, yak, yak. Look, I might have been a little hasty, and not even a pile like you deserves to experience required reading. I guess maybe I'm a little touchy about my weaknesses ever since. It's not important. Let's just say that none of the life forms who have tried to figure out what my weaknesses are have lived long enough to compare notes. Stanford Pines here. If you've reached this page, then you ignored my instructions and have begun to read the Book of Bill. You can't hear the long, disappointed sigh I'm making right now, but I assure you it's devastating. Yes, I'm judging you. You're making a terrible mistake. I don't know what ridiculous things Bill is telling you right now, but I assure you none of it is true, useful, or in good taste. I took a glimpse at the book myself, and it was mostly extremely complex riddles. He's trying to bait me into solving them because he knows my curiosity is my Achilles heel. And he's counting on yours being the same. If you're the type to ignore reason even when it's staring you in the face, then I'm sure the last thing you want is to be scolded by some old man wagging one of his 6 fingers at you. Chances are you're at some desperate low point in your life. Perhaps you've lost something dear to you, or you're in the throes of some all consuming monomaniacal ambition, or perhaps you just are attracted to things that hurt you. As a recovering cypherholic myself, I want you to know there's another way. Close this book right now. Go on with your life. Maybe take up an exciting hobby like cataloging the wing patterns of various types of rare tree bark dwelling moths. I pinned one of Gravity Falls' goth moths here. You'd probably be into that sort of thing. I would be. Wow, the goth moth. It's got Jack Skellington on it. Or you can keep turning the pages to see what absurd thing he's distracting you with next. What's it gonna be? A tantalizing glimpse of your future, perhaps? How to speak to trees? Something obviously impossible, like how to make nuclear bombs out of ducklings? It's not worth it. Trust me. You have to trust me. Oh, hello there. You just caught me peeking at all the secrets of the universe, the meaning of life, what everyone's saying about you behind your back, how to make a functioning atomic bomb out of ducklings, blah, 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 boring stuff like that. In my entire journey through history, you wouldn't be interested. What's that? Okay, I can tell by how comically wide your eyes are getting that you really want to know what's behind the door. Behind this door. Look, normally I only share my unholy knowledge with close personal henchmen, but you seem like the type of human who can keep infinite secrets. All right, I'll consider letting you take a peek if you can pass my test. I need to know your mind is powerful enough to handle my deep, dark secrets without your brain melting out your ears and staining your shirt. Lucky for you, I keep one of these brain power tests with me at all times in case I come up. Okay, in case I come upon a potential new victim, best friend. Get that pencil sharpened, buddy. It's time to see what you're made of, aside from bile and dead skin flakes. The secrets of the universe. Oh, ho, ho. No kidding. Wow, they should not publish that. Wow. The one true intelligence test. You have 10 minutes to complete this quiz. Use a number 37 pencil only. This test will categorically determine your intelligence for the rest of your life forever. No takebacks until the end of eternity. All prior tests are void, even your driver's test. You're walking home, pal. If stuck on a question, you may feel an overwhelming sense that you're falling behind, that all the other students are smarter than you, and that your life is over. Hello! And that your life is over before it's even begun. You may conclude that the universe is fundamentally unfair and designed only for your suffering. Lean into this feeling. Let it fester and grow until you're glowing with incandescent fury, aflame with an unquenchable yearning for vengeance. They thought they were smarter than you? Well, you'll show them. You'll show them all! What a devious illusion. Is this a young woman, an old woman, or an illustrator having a psychotic break? It's the funny S. I love the funny S. The riddle of the cube. This may look like an ordinary cube, but if you look closely, this cube is actually really super depressed. Hey, he's had a rough year. Cut him some slack. What can you say to this cube to convince him to leave the house more often? Careful. Too much pressure to hang out will make the cube even more anxious, but if you never invite him out, he'll think you hate him. 3. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck were up against a woodchucking deadline and had procrastinated for weeks? He's supposed to chuck 30 trees by Friday and it's already noon on Wednesday. He's wasted his day watching YouTube videos about how marbles are made. What should he do? Should he call his mom? He's honestly freaking out right now. The scythe erase deer teeth. For you, kid. Oh. It says deer teeth on it for you, kid. Wow, a reference to the show. Can you find all the below screams in the puzzle? Wow, I found them all. It just says a bunch of times. There's another funny S. 5. Norlog the number devourer. This is Norlog. He hungers for numbers. Feed him the numbers he craves. Numbers are his food. Feed Norlog. Calculate the surface area of Seuss. How did I get here? How did he get there? Indeed. 7. What is this thing? Why won't it leave me alone? 8. Divide this number in half. 7,368. Oh God, you killed it! You were supposed to divide it in your head, not divide it with an axe! There's blood everywhere and the cops are gonna be here any minute! Okay, just stay cool. That number had a family, but you can't think about that right now. Listen to me. Here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna take a deep breath, go home and change your clothes. I know a guy who can take care of this, but you need an alibi. Quick, write it down here. It better be convincing. Your alibi. Don't rope me into this. 9. In the 90s, the internet had only one website, Horses Dating Horses. So people had to pass the time by staring at these things and pretending they could see something in there. Can you pretend to see something in there? Write down what you pretend to see. And then it's a crossword puzzle. Crossword across. A draft of a proposed law presented to Parliament for discussion. An amount of money owed for goods supplied or services rendered. A program of entertainment such as at a theater. A banknote, a piece of paper money. A poster, first name of the 42nd President of the USA. Chant at the beginning of a science guy's show. The front part of a duck's face. Destiny's Child needs 3 of them. LLIB backward. Buffalo. Who the bride wanted to kill. Short for William. When you misspell Phil, there's no such thing as a good blank in year. A clean blank of health. He had an excellent adventure with Ted. The kind of board with an advertisement on it. 3 blank E goats gruff. Watterson of Calvin and Hobbes. The name of your new god. 01100 Wait, 011000110011001100001101100 in binary. It just all spells Bill. I just added this thing in here because it's been in my dimension forever and I hate looking at it and wanted to get rid of it. It's your problem now. Final question. This is an easy one. What is the purpose of your life? Oh yeah, I hope it gets to you. It's so good. It's really good. I've had this for since it came out kind of, but I have not read through it all completely. I hope it gets to you. Answer key. All right, the solution to the intelligence test is if you completed the entire thing, you failed. Sad trombone. Womp womp. That's right. The real test was to see if you were gullible enough to waste your time actually doing these pointless questions. As it turns out, you were. Ha 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 ha. I didn't fill out any of them, so I'm writing out myself laughing. Please proceed to put on the hat of shame for the rest of your life. If, however, you skipped over any of the questions, congratulations, you passed. There's a child in a box with a hat on it that says Dum Dum Box. You and your new hat forever. Congratulations, passed. You are smart enough to understand the fundamental truth in life, which is that the universe is a rigged carnival game and the spoils go to whoever knocks out the carny and takes the prize. Your life is too short to waste on homework unless you want to end up like these 2 sad nerds. And then it's a picture of Ford and Dipper. Sorry for the shit camera quality. Pictured guys who like homework, not pictured girlfriends. Point is, you're being cheated every day of your life, so the only way to level the playing field is to cheat back. And cheat back hard. I knew you'd get it. Call me crazy, and every licensed therapist does, but I'd say you've proved that you're worthy of learning the secrets of the universe. I don't have all of the codes down, but I know a majority of what's in the book. I read the secret journal pages through already, but that's like to the extent of what I've done. Bill's Guide to Everything. Reality is an illusion. First, let's get something out of the way. A human's ability to grasp reality is painfully limited. You don't even have free will. Don't believe me? Okay, rip $1 in half right now. Didn't do it? Didn't think so. It's not your fault. You didn't evolve to understand the truths of existence. You evolved to eat berries, bonk each other with sticks, and squirt milk into babies. You can't see outside the optical spectrum, navigate beyond linear chronology, or even echolocate. But now you've got me. Want to see what the underlying code of all things really looks like? Reality is made of code and madness and tiny, tiny Legos. Everything big is made of something small, and everything small can be manipulated into something new. Your senses are lying to you, so it's time to start lying to your senses and pick a better reality. I can show you how, but first you need to remember what's real. Nothing! The universe is a hologram. This is the multiverse. Look at how multi it is. Me, you, unimportant suckers. We are a tiny purple dot. This roiling mass of all possible realities is complicated enough to ruin any physics class or cinematic movie franchise it touches, but it's actually a lot simpler than it looks. If you know its secret, it's a Pokemon card. So true, so true. The truth is, our entire multiverse is a holographic trading card being held inside a collector's binder within the backpack of an unfathomable being outside of time known as Dennis. Every time you feel briefly dizzy, it's because Dennis just took the card out to show his older brother Kyle, offering to trade it for a string cheese. This is what physicists call string theory. And all that is, or was, or ever will be, is encoded along this cheap card's glittering edge. If Dennis ever loses it under the couch, or if his dog ever eats it, we're pretty much done for. Dennis, no. So the card says the multiverse. Basic multiverse. 50 HP, it's psychic type. Big Bang, go from nothing to everything 10 times. Wave function collapse. Flip a coin. Heads, the multiverse continues. Tails, it blinks out of existence. All that is or was or ever shall be. Weakness, cost. So rare that Dennis is said to own the only one, which is so unfair. I bet he doesn't even know how valuable it is. Level 100. Wow. We're apparently a holographic one, too. So, you're a horrible body, a disgusting pile of parts and holes. The eye, soda goes in here. This is the soda hole. The brain, where the horrors live. The horrors. My part-time vacation home. Ghosts. Sneezes are the ghosts trying to escape. Don't let them. Their memories are your dreams. The mouth. The human mouth can eat anything except itself. Want to impress me? Eat your own mouth. Prize bladder. Each human body has a free prize hidden inside. Lollipops, Cracker Jacks, a new bike for Billy? Only one way to find out. Where's that scalpel? Free xylophone. Grab a tiny hammer and play this. Bunch of notes. Chumbo. When your stomach grumbles, that's Chumbo. A live rat. The average person swallows 5 to 6 live rats in their sleep per year. Check your esophagus each morning for squealing. You've got a new friend wriggling down your throat. An asterisk. Must be surgically removed before it ruptures. The hand. A claw made out of protein needs way more fingers. 5 is a joke. If you want to be taken seriously as a life form, evolve these already. Design flaw. Ever tried shooting a laser up here? Whole human explodes. And it's pointing at it's pointing at a part I'm not even going to mention. Oh my gosh, that's not safe for work. Meat. Humans are made of delicious, succulent, prime-grade meat. Just top-tier gourmet stuff. Better than anything you've ever tasted. Probably best not to think about it. The tubes. Home to the fluids. Bones. Inside of bones are other much tinier bones. No one knows what's inside those bones. Wound. It's hungry. Feed it salt. The hooves. For marching joylessly toward inevitable decay. Also for jigs. As this diagram reveals, most human bodies are filled with fun facts. The facts a human ingests into its body, the more likely these facts are to cause arterial blockage, hemorrhaging, and even death. For this reason, it is recommended that humans avoid facts at all costs. Lies are a healthy and popular alternative. Ask your doctor which lies are right for you. What is a human? Life forms rankings. Best, that looks like a shrimp or some sort of crustacean of some sort. I think it might be a shrimp. Dinosaur, mushroom, worm, dodo bird, swordfish or shark? I can't tell which one that is. Unicorn, and then Toby determined is at the worst. What is a human? A human is an organic machine made out of blood and anxiety designed to deliver a random bundle of genetic material into the future and then turn to dust. That's it! Your only purpose to be the expendable chauffeur to a pushy line of genetic code! As someone who's puppeteered plenty of you meat robots before, I'd rank humans somewhere between the chupacabra and the mudtick. Not the best life form on Earth, not the worst. Weaknesses include fire forks, wood chippers, chlorine gas, and mild criticism. True, true. The human body. Ew! What is it? The human body is an oily trash bag filled with fluids and bladders and sacs. You can't poke it too hard or it leaks and squeals, and if you don't constantly put nutrients in its head hole, it just falls over and never gets up again. It was designed by random mutation, and like most mutants, it looks best covered up with a tarp. Humans claim that the human body is beautiful, but if you go outside naked, they arrest you immediately. So what does that tell you? The human body doesn't come with an instruction manual, but if it did, it would probably just say, sorry. Your sad, feeble eyes. They say that beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but all I found is this human's eye is goo. You sad humans can't even see my favorite colors. So-called optometrists say that these colors don't exist, but those guys are all being paid off by bees and mantis shrimp so they can hoard the flashiest shirts. Teach the controversy! Colors you can't see. Ultraviolet, extra turquoise, magenta, insanitial, hyper beige, brown, too. So true, so true. Skin, the bag that holds your meat. Bill fact, want to make yourself easier for me to possess? Just shave your head and get this handy tattoo. I'll know right where to invade. Bill, enter here. Don't stop there. Keep shaving your body until you're completely hairless and you cover yourself in grease so the TSA can't catch you. Board any plane! Did you know there's a map to the lost city of gold hidden on your grandma Brendoline's left leg? That big blue vein is the exact shape of the coast of Acapulco. Follow the signs! What is skin? Gross, horrible, ew, yuck, awful, hate it, no, the worst. Tattoos, never a mistake. Every human secretly wants to escape their skin and become the cool skeleton they were always meant to be. But as of yet, there's no way to do that without dying. To make the most of this unfortunate situation, some humans decorate their wretched husk with a form of pain graffiti known as a tattoo. And guess who's one of the most popular tattoos? Bill Cipher. Thank you, Florida. To everyone who has made the questionable decision to put my face on their body forever, may I just say I love it. We are as one, a shared vessel bonded in blood and ink. But let's be honest, some of you have questionable taste. So here's a few poses you can use next time you're at the pain factory. Tell them Bill sent you. Oh, I didn't go in the middle. I robbed. I did wrong. Okay, so we're going in the middle now. Humans are trapped in a horrible moist bag of spongy gland fat known as skin, which gets wrinklier and wrinklier over time until ultimately humans morph into their final form known as Larry King. It is inevitable. And he died. Oh god, no! Found it free skin, found it on the sidewalk. It's yours now. Learning is fun. Help! This is not Bill Cipher! My name is Greebly Hemberdeck of Simtrex 5. I'm one of thousands of beings Bill has devoured over trillions of years whose souls are now trapped inside him. You have to free me. It's horrible in here. He just keeps playing the song Good Vibrations by Marky Mark on an endless loop. Please, please, this is not a joke. The Zimtrexians were once a proud and mighty people, but now our spirits long for release from this. It just stops. Oh god. Summary. You were made flawed but can improve with pain. 2. Summary of summary. Life wrong, pain right. Summary of summary of summary. Ah! Put Bill on your body. I'm gonna get one of these too. I'm gonna get this one. And then I'm going to get I don't know if you were here earlier. I'm not that far into this book and I'm almost an hour. It takes me a long ass fucking time to read. I'm getting this tattooed on my body. Okay. Love. Oh my lord. And there's a picture of Mabel with a bunch of romance books and Valentine stuff in her head, and it says, "This kid has been fed lies. I've got a confession to make. I rooted around in your brain while your mind was wandering during the last chapter. Your attention span is short. So true. And the thing you seem to crave more than anything, except salt and sugar, you greedy ant, is love. Pal, you are desperate for it. Stop calling me out. Look, I get it. Humans are one of the few consciousnesses in the multiverse that aren't hooked up to a hive mind, and as a result, you are hilariously lonely. Have you ever considered letting yourself be assimilated by the giant pulsating biomechanical hive cube? Fuck, why can't I say words? You're never lonely in the giant pulsating biomechanical hive cube, but the truth is, love is a scam, and I'm here to set the record straight. What is love? Baby, it'll hurt me. Sorry. Love is a chemically induced hypnosis the human body uses to trick people into not eating each other just long enough to procreate. Around the age when you start watching uncomfortable videos in health class, your priorities flip flop from magic tricks and marbles, important, to who's crushing on you, stupid. But it doesn't stop there. Love is an industry cramming your little noggin with lies designed to sell chalky, bland candy and freshly murdered flowers. What do you get when it's all over? Money? Power? No! You get miniature copies of yourself who don't even like you, sucking out your resources like tiny vampires. Smooth move, Brainiac. You just fired yourself from life and hired your replacement. Love is a trick, and worst of all, it's a trick you play on yourself. Bill, have you ever been in love? Sure. Tell your mom hi for me. By the way, have you taken a DNA test recently? Not asking for any particular reason. There's some of your mom joke in here. Seriously though, have you? Asking me if I've been in love is like asking a black hole if it liked your mixtape, or asking a subterranean fungal spore network who its favorite animated princess is. I'm a multi-dimensional specter of chaos that transcends reality. I couldn't possibly care less about which bag of plasma blushes at who or why. Okay, but like, you gotta be crushing on someone. I will light this book on fire. Methinks you doth protest too much. Methinks? Kill me before you start telling me about your polycule. So there's no point to love at all? I didn't say love was pointless. The more people love you, the more brainwashed sheep you can bend to your whims. So conquering hearts is one of the most important things you can do. So you'll give us dating tips then. You know what? It will reflect poorly on me as an overlord if my new henchman has no social skills, so I guess I'll teach you my incredible dating tips. Just be careful. These tips are powerful. You might wind up with 100 husbands, which is a giant scheduling nightmare. Don't come crying to me when husband number 48 gets mad at you for forgetting his anniversary. How to trick everyone into loving you. Ooh. Tell her you want to eat your hair. Love isn't a dance with destiny. It's a sales pitch. You're a product and you need to convince your customer of a lie, that they absolutely need you. Don't worry, you've got a master salesman right here. If I could sell the apocalypse, I can sell you. It's what's on the outside that counts. Everyone judges a book by its cover, so you need a cover that covers up your face, personality, financial situation, and general life's prospects. No one's going to love you if they know all the terrible secrets you're running from, or recognize your blood-spattered face from your wanted posters. In other words, makeover! Outfit ideas. Wear a suit covered in babies to show that you're a provider. Wear two of everything. That will show your date that you have access to plenty of resources. 2 hats, 2 ties. Pants over your pants. You'll be the hit of the soiree. Unless someone walks in with 3 hats, then you'll look like an idiot. Cover yourself in teeth. Your date will be amazed at how rich in calcium you are. Wear the tallest hat you can find to signal your dominance. Behold my seduction hat. Behold it or else. Tie a cobra to each arm and call yourself Johnny Cobra Arms. This one speaks for itself. Smells. Love is partially based on scent pheromones, so be sure to lather up in elk sweat, badger musk, and whale ambergris. Ambergris? Before leaving the house. A date is a competition. Whoever has the most smells wins. Topics. The enemy of a date is silence. Every second of awkward silence gives your date a chance to notice and consider your copious flaws. The solution? Be sure to scream topics whenever there's a lull in the conversation. Double date topics. Eels. The pH balance of soil. Mandibles. Ferris wheel deaths. Divorce rate statistics. Mold. Caulk. The love cage. If your date is still somehow unimpressed by your screaming and smells, then simply trap them in a massive stone pyramid and sing an increasingly shrill song until they're mentally broken enough to confess their true feelings. Fear and love are right next to each other in the brain. Most humans can't really tell the difference. In fact, I'm not sure there is a difference. Whoa, Bill, the what cage? Do a what in the love cage? Oh my god, Bill Ford is Vulnerability. Humans have this gross flaw when they see something weak and pathetic. They want to take care of it instead of crushing its bones. Use this strategic miscalculation to your advantage. After slathering your date with all the charm you can excrete, tell them some sob story. You're actually tragic and misunderstood. No one can possibly relate to you. Blah, blah, blah. That kind of drivel. You'll have that dupe eating out of the palm of your hand, then trap them in the love cage. Good old-fashioned Valentine's. Run out of options? Giving your date brightly colored flattened wood pulp is literally the least you can do. Humans are so lonely and desperate for a scrap of validation that even this bare minimum effort might cause them to consider you for eternal companionship. Too cheap to buy your own? Not to worry. Bill has you covered. Cut these out and drop one on your date's door. Step like a cat, leaving a dead mouse and let the unearned affection roll in. Or better yet, just leave real dead mice. Mice are easy to kill. Just stare at them and think the word perish until they do. Do it. My exes. Blanked out, blanked out, blanked out. It's 2 lines that are blanked out in Sharpie marker. Who was it? Not relevant! I don't have any! Remember, pal, at the end of the day, love is just the pupa stage for hate. Handcuffing your happiness to a mortal is like gluing yourself to a time bomb. Dude, no one mentioned mortals. I know he's talking to a mortal, but no one mentioned mortals. So, who's handcuffing their happiness to a mortal? Bill, you have some explaining. Handcuffing your happiness to a mortal is like gluing yourself to a time bomb. Till death do us part should give you a hint about where this whole thing's headed. Hey, speaking of which, guess what the next chapter's about? Here's a hint. You're getting closer to it every second. I love these. So that they say, Bill, you go out with me? I've got my eye on you. You're a cutie. I like you for some reason. Let's get Illuminati. And he took his bow tie and hat off. Oh my god. That's not appropriate. I'm broken. Want to fix me? I don't want to die alone. I secretly collected your sweat in a jar, and according to extensive lab testing, we have an 88.3% pheromone compatibility match. They call me the love triangle. And then the things on the side say Bill Cipher, cheeses and something, United Nightmare something. I can't read that. Wait, it's Bill Cipher character, not cheese. I said cheeses. Why did I say cheeses? Oh, these are so cute. I love these. They're so cute. The little bills on the other side. Okay. Get ready for the game show I just made up that's sweeping the multiverse. Say it with me, folks in the audience. How will you die? How will you die? Thank you. The rules are simple. Just pick a number between 1 and 22 and then turn the page and see the spoiler alert of all spoiler alerts. Obituary writers, start your engines! How will you die? Steamroller accident. You will have a fatal allergic reaction to pudding while driving a steamroller. 2. Making history as the first person ever to choke to death on air. Murdered by one of the 12 distinguished yet mysterious guests whom you invited to your cliffside manor for a night of revelry and charades. Is that a reference to Who Killed Markiplier? Is that a reference to Who Killed Markiplier? Shockingly assassinated while trying. Can I read? Shockingly assassinated while simply trying to ride in your motorcade through Dallas with the roof down in the year 1963. Eaten by thousands of rats, which you brought into your home to celebrate Rat Day. You will learn too late that there is no such thing as Rat Day. On a dating app, you'll accidentally match with a wrecking ball. You'll finally wear that whimsical flower crown you've been eyeing all summer. You will be devoured by hummingbirds. Oops! All at the sugary cereal factory, you will accidentally pull the lever that releases all berries. Your final words as you're crushed to death will be, "This is very painful." Yes. Sorry if I respond to things you type in later than you say them. It's because I think there's a slight delay in the live stream versus the chat. Okay, hold on. The good news, you will finally get the world's biggest trampoline. The bad news, you will bounce directly into the icy void of space, where your frozen corpse will forever orbit Earth, a testament to the hubris of man. You will kiss your parallel self from another dimension, causing you both to blink out of existence. Your friends who thought the whole relationship was pretty gross will be glad they don't have to pretend to support this anymore. Self-cessed in the Bill Cipher, the Book of Bill? What the fuck? Anyway, your subscription to the Poison of the Month Club will prove to all too satisfactory. You will be bitten by a French vampire named Vampire. Vampire. You will live for 1,000 years sucking red wine out of bottles until you die from exposure to a bath. The skeleton with the sword. He found you! You will meet your tragic death imitating the playful stunts you see on a TVY7 rated cartoon show. Devastated, a network censor will punch a wall and fall to their knees sobbing. They should have done more! Macroplastics. Ate a dollhouse. The person of your dreams will finally propose to you. You will gasp so hard that you inhale the ring and die on the spot. A freak accident at a construction site will trap you inside a giant glass box. Your panic screams will be inaudible as you pound on the sides, running out of oxygen. Onlookers mistaking you for a mime will applaud and toss you quarters. You will earn $2.75. You will fall into the deep fryer at the county fair, dying instantly. Your death will be declared as a finger-licking preventable tragedy. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That means so much to me. You will successfully fly toward the heaven with wings made of ham. But the temptation to eat your delicious ham wings will become all too great. While listening to a forbidden remix of the Cha-Cha Slide right after the singer tells you to slide to the left and slide to the right, a new voice, a deep, quiet voice full of malice will whisper, "Now burst into flames." You won't want to obey, but you'll know that you must. The dance demands it, and everyone at the bar mitzvah is watching! Simply trying to reach for a piece of cheese. Oh, here's the cheese! Oh my gosh, the cheese is here! Which you'll discover is attached to a string that pulls open a cage, sending a bowling ball down a flight of stairs, turning on a hairdryer, which melts a block of ice that fills a bathtub, raising a stopper that turns on a cuckoo clock, triggering a boot on a mechanical spring that kicks your head off. Everyone will politely applaud. You will die of embarrassment after accidentally calling your boss Mom. You'll die peacefully in your sleep at the ripe age of 102, surrounded by loved ones, remembered and beloved by all for generations to come. By the way, if you got this one, you cheated! Afterlife? Oh, hell nah. He's gonna tell me I'm going to hell. Bill, if you died, then where are you now? Someone's finally asking the right questions. Look, kid, I always have an ace up my sleeve, and death was no exception. I knew it was easy money that one of my enemies would get me eventually, so I used a little plan B to turn the tables, and the curse worked like a charm. Now I'm somewhere with enough time to write and plan revenge. So, hell? Please, I was deemed too annoying for hell. It's your typical between lives situation, descending through circles, battling demons, reliving your whole life, blah, blah, blah. Just imagine somewhere very far away, where the music is always out of tune, where everyone smiles, but no one's happy. I don't get that reference. How does it feel to be half alive? My half life is still better than most people's whole lives. I'm just getting warmed up for my second act, you dig? Want a cool party trick? I'll teach you how to cheat death, too. How to cheat death. Get bitten by a zombie, vampire, or zompire. You can't imagine how pale those bastards are. Before the chosen one kills you, split your soul into 17 cursed amulets and hide them across the realms in really annoying places for your loser cultists to track down. The immortality of a high... There's a mouth blocking it. Get your soul trapped in the body of a snowman and still have to pay child support, drinking, and it's blocked out by a mouth that says, oops, someone's hungry, feed the book more blood before we run out of ink. Can't lose that ink. Is heaven real? Believe it or not, heaven is real. I know. I was shocked too. Turns out, in an infinite multiverse, all conceivable realities can and must exist, which means logically there exists a paradise exactly tailored to every desire you've ever imagined. Lucky you! And even better, I know exactly how you can get there. On the next page, I will write the instructions to getting into heaven. Warning, if you have ever had a perverted thought, the ink will be invisible. The page is blank. No. No, 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 no. Anyway, well, I tried. Now that we've established you're a freak, it's time to talk about morality. Morality. What is it? Well, if you look at it sideways, it's just a word. And now it's in a paper airplane. The point is, it's a very flexible concept. But parents and presidents don't want you to know that, because then you might start asking other questions, like who put them in charge anyway? So they cram your brain full of guilt and regrets for transgressing laws that transgressing laws they just made up. Wouldn't it be nice if you could pull all that baggage down? Quell the shame that follows you everywhere for a lifetime of crimes? Make the screams finally stop! The good news is you can silence that annoying voice, and here's how. Denial works 100% of the time in every situation. What do you mean there are people who disagree? I can confidently say that there aren't. Rationalization. If you can do it, you can justify it. Truth is an open source code. Truth is open source code, and anyone can edit it anytime. Want to be like me? List 3 evil things and then 3 reasons why they're actually good. You'll be rationalizing like Bill in no time. Detachment. Did you know 100% of your human cells die and are replaced every 7 years? That means that anything you did 7 years ago wasn't even you. It was some dead loser. You can't be held accountable for what a dead person did. What? You think this is just another form of rationalization? I deny that! The Bill Cipher decision method. Working together over the eons, the voices in my head teamed up and worked out a foolproof method of making any decision in any situation. Do whatever I want! Right again, Bill! So true. But what about karma? Total scam. I've been through the whole universe and I've never seen a shred of evidence that comes around. Ow, my eye! The paper airplane from before hit him in the eye. Funny. A moral test. Well, look what we have here. Scrimbles the elf seems to be chained up to this page. There's no way to get him out. His elf bones are made of glass, and if you turn the page, you'll crush him to death. But if you never turn the page, you'll never see the rest of my amazing book. It's his life versus your fleeting amusement. What'll it be? Keep reading, Scrimbles dies? Or stop reading, Scrimbles lives? Please have mercy. I'm just a little elf, I am. On the other hand, that page does sound interesting. Do I let Scrimbles live? Or do I let Scrimbles die? Scrimbles dies! Parallel dimensions. Well, Scrimbles is dead. It had to happen. Trust me, we were doing that guy a favor. Once you get one book out, soon there's more, eating all your commas and drinking your page gloss. If it makes you feel any better, there's a dimension where he's still alive and well. I'm one of the... I was parched. There's a world where... If it makes you feel any better, there's a dimension where he's still alive and well. I am one of the few gifted with the ability to see into these other worlds. There's a world where every typo you make comes true. Lot of ducks in that dimension. A world where I'm a square. We don't talk about that world. Oh my god. A terrifying chibi-verse where everyone's arms and legs have been sanded down to nubs, and I can see worlds where the Pines family lost. Look at them, these two plucky little protagonists, happily ever aftering without a care in their oversized heads. They don't consider for a single moment the sheer improbability that they got to exist in the one timeline where they kept all their bodily organs out of the infinite timelines where they were erased, shattered, drowned, frozen, or dismembered before they could make it back to before they could make it to 13. But I guarantee you that their less lucky dimensional duplicates think about them all the time. Maybe one day all these parallel pines will get the chance to meet up face to face. Maybe one day in the future all their good luck will finally run out. No, they have plot armor because they're the main characters. Urban legends. Okay, so it's been an hour and 10 minutes. So we're at Urban Legends, so I think this is a pretty good place to stop. There's still a shit ton of the book left. I've been reading for this much, and it took me an hour to get this far into the book. So I am going to make a bookmark. I'll make a bookmark, and I'll stop here, and I'll continue some other time, probably. All right, so here's me making the bookmark. Okay, so I'll put Bill on it. I'd continue, but it's like 11 o'clock at night right here, and I've got work in the morning. Oh, that for me. Okay. There's the Bill bookmark, so we can see where we left off, and I'll put it in there. And then I'll put the sleeve jacket. Oh my god, it's 8 p.m. there. West Coast living. Yeah, this was really fun. I think I'll do it again maybe this weekend, perhaps, perchance. Oh, Canada. I'm in the States. So this is me in my Ford sweater. I'm being Ford for Halloween, so that's fun. But thank you for watching. Really means a lot to me. And goodbye. Let's see if I can figure out how to end this.